Hello, and welcome to Blue Collar Leadership, Leading from the Frontlines virtual training series. We are so excited to have you here. There are a couple of things you need to know before we get started. Number one, if you didn't know it already, or for some reason you haven't met us before, you need to know, the first thing you need to know is that we are married. So if he picks on me, it's okay.
And if she picks on me, I'm used to it. I wrote this book back in 2016. I wrote it for the entry-level frontline worker. But I've had CEOs of 5,000 person companies read this book and then reach out to me and tell me how much they got out of it. So, I want to start out. I want to read you this quote right here that's on the back cover. It says, from George Washington Carver, and he says this: when you do the common things in life in an uncommon way, you will command the attention of the world. So that's what this series is about. It's helping you learn how to do whatever it is you do in an uncommon way, so you can command the attention of the world. Because it's all about helping you lead yourself well. It's about helping you become a highly sought after employee of choice. The kind of employee that people want to promote, that people want to give raises to.
One thing that I like to just jump in and add to is that when we think of leadership and influence, and we're going to get into all of that, but when we define leadership as influence, the same leadership principles that help us be effective at work and becoming that sought after employee are also going to help us influence the people in our personal lives. And how many of us want to influence our children to make better choices in life, right? I mean, to me, the personal side is as much or maybe more of a reason to study and learn the lessons of leadership. Because every time we get more influence in life, life gets better. We get more options and more opportunities, and life always gets better when we have more options and more opportunities.
So, when I say I'm one of you, what I want you to know, I'm literally a blue-collar guy. You may see me a lot of times. You may even see pictures in the handout in your participants' guides. Got me in a suit. Sometimes we speak to white-collar groups. Sometimes I'm speaking to executives in a blue-collar business. But I gotta put my Halloween costume on, which I call my suit and tie, and go talk to the big dogs so that I can hopefully get an opportunity to go talk to everybody, the what I call the real people down there doing the work. You're exactly where you're supposed to be, but not where you have to be. And what that means is, if you create a habit of intentional growth, you don't have to be wherever you're at now. You may be doing the same job, but you don't have to be there in the same way. You don't have to be in the same place that you're at in life. But what we talk about when we say you're in the perfect place is you're always in the perfect place to start growing. And that's what this entire training and development series is about, is to help you start from where you are and just start climbing. And don't ever stop.
Growth gives you options.
Lots of options. And we talked about that last time. Life is always better with more options. That's what we're doing this for. And hopefully that's what you're going through this for. But don't just go through it. Grow through it. That's a big difference. Because whether you're reading this book or any of our other books or any of Ria's books, somebody else's books who's talking about this same type thing, first thing you're going to think most likely is this is common sense. Everybody thinks this is common sense, but everybody doesn't do it.
Yeah, the leadership principles that we talk about, we didn't invent them.
Nope.
I mean, the principles have been around. They are timeless, and that's one of the beautiful things about them is they are timeless and they always apply. But hopefully what we do and what we try to do certainly is share the principles in a way that makes sense, so that when you hear them, you go, yeah, that's common sense. I understand it. Absolutely. Because when you understand it, it's much easier to apply it.
You get paid by others, but you work for yourself. That's the answer. Who do you work for? If you're asking me, I'm working for me. And it's crucial to know that. And so the reason it's so important for you to know that, I remember from my days working on the front lines in the blue-collar industries, a lot of times I didn't like my boss. but I knew before I ever read any of these type books, I had learned these things automatically, accidentally, whatever word you want to use. But I knew I was working for me. The job that I did mattered to me. What people saw, the work, the job people saw me doing, it mattered to me because that was my reputation I was building. I wasn't building my boss's reputation. I was building my reputation. I'm the one trying to move up the ladder of the organizational chart and the pay scale. I was focused on me.
I think that's important because that means that what we're doing reflects on us. And so if we do a good job, that reflects well of us, and certainly it can reflect well on the leader or the boss, but if we do a poor job, that's on us as well, right? If I'm working for myself and I don't do what I need to do, then that's a me and me problem.
It is. And I say this is the most important thing you need to know. And I'll tell them, get the notepad, make sure they got their pen and paper, write this down. And I'll tell them, don't ask for a raise. And they'll write it down, don't ask for a raise. And they look up, and I'll say, ask for more responsibility. And they just keep looking. They don't want to write that one down,
Not so popular to write that down.
No, I told you this book right here, Blue Collar Leadership, Leading from the Front Lines, is filled with principles. Some of them I knew, some of them I didn't know till later. But it's filled with principles that helped me climb from, during my 20-year career. Got promoted 14 times. One of them was I didn't hound my bosses for a raise. I asked for responsibility. I shared the other story about when I learned the program, and I raised my hand and asked for responsibility when I was improving the process. I didn't have to tell someone no one had to tell me to do that. No one had to approve me to do that. I just did it. So I basically not just asked for responsibility. In that case, I took responsibility. I just started doing things that high impact people should do. And I got raise after raise after raise and promotion after promotion after promotion. And I figured out pretty quick, all I got to do is ask for responsibility and I'll get plenty of raises.
Well, I think that anytime we want results relative to exercise or health or developing our mind and our mindset, the bigger the result that we want, the more work we're going to have to put in, the greater the sacrifice, but the more intentional we have to be. And you're busy, right? There's no doubt you're busy. You're busy with work and family and commitments and still wanting to do some fun things in life. But making some time and space to develop yourself intentionally is going to help you move forward. Just a little bit a day. It doesn't have to be all day. Just every day. So letter B. There will be many opportunities waiting for you after you have prepared for them, but not before.
Well, a lot of people think there ain't no opportunities. I can tell you right now, whatever opportunity you want, it's right out there waiting on you to show up and claim it.
But you have to be prepared for it.
And if you ain't prepared, somebody else is going to claim it.
And it's not your opportunity.
Whatever job you want, whatever income you want, there's somebody already out there doing that job. There's going to be jobs available. And the income you want, there's jobs out there. People are going to get hired for it today making that income. So every opportunity is out there. What ain't out there most time is us showing up to claim it. Somebody else has already done all this stuff and they're claiming it.